There comes a time in everyone's career when you have to throw in the towel. You have to hang up the hat on the hook and say, I made a mistake. I was wrong. Everything that I've been pushing so hard in my life for has been based on a faulty premise. And today we're going to learn the real reason that you dream. You guys know I'm not going to throw in the towel. I've dedicated everything to this, but there is a new theory out from Stanford University, if I'm not saying that incorrectly, we'll see, that says that dreams are not actually because you're emotionally processing things. It's not actually because there's some hidden secret meaning in the symbolism there. It's just a way of self-preservation. And so we're going to watch a video today, and I'm curious what you think. There are many people, and I see them in my comments and DMs all the time, who believe that dreams are absolutely nonsense. They're just the leftover garbage of the brain. But I obviously have made a whole life, a whole practice out of using those dreams as a projective device so you can understand your deeper psychological significance, so you can interpret and understand your mental health struggles and then use them to move forward and make the corrective changes that you need to. I still believe that, although I think there is some interesting stuff in this that's going to shake the way that you think of dreams. So stay tuned. While you're there, hit subscribe, like, and follow the channel. It helps us out a lot, and share new information about mental health with those who may be struggling. So hit subscribe, do like. It does help share with other people who may get the information that they need and make their lives a little better. So you're doing good for the whole world. All right, so let's check this out. This comes from a Instagram account, Modern Day Eratosthenes. Yep, that's the one. Please tell me how to describe it in the comments down below, how I should actually say that. Eratosthenes? Oh yeah, that's a philosopher, Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes? Shit, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. This was actually sent to me by my good friend Jamie, who said, wow, this is so interesting. So shout out to Jamie. Go follow her. She's Recollected Self. She makes some wonderful mental health content, and she was one of the OG TikTok therapists, just like me. So shout out to her. It's so cool to get those DMs, you know. But let's jump in together.
Are dreams a defense mechanism for your eyes? Dreaming is super weird, and we all experience it. But a new theory out of Stanford University suggests that dreaming is a way for you to keep your eyesight when you wake up. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to adapt to new roles, and you're very good at it. There are surgeries where people have parts of their brain taken out and yet still can eventually perform the same tasks because the remaining sections of their brains have taken on those roles.
So you hear me talk about neuroplasticity all the time on the channel, and that's what we mean. The brain is incredible, and so because it's plastic, because it's moldable and changeable and shapeable, it can learn to do things. And as you age, if you don't use your brain, you lose it. And so that plasticity can be lost if you're not continually learning new things and stretching your brain in its capacity. And so the theory here is that, well, she's going to get to it, when you close your eyes, you're losing your visual senses. And if you're losing your visual senses, the rest of the brain is like, oh no, we need to compensate for this loss of visual sensation. So we'll create some visual sensation. Boom, here you go. Boom, here you go. There's a flying toaster. Here's a whale that swallows you into the depths of the ocean. And so it's wondering if just because you close your eyes for a few hours every night, the brain's trying to compensate, like, oh shit, we lost our eyesight. We better compensate and make some visuals. Interesting theory. And there may be some proof to support this.
This new theory suggests that neuroplasticity can happen a lot faster than we think. Basically, your neurons are always looking for something to do. And if a section of your brain, say your visual cortex, isn't active because your eyes are closed, then nearby neurons that process other sensory information could come over and commandeer the visual cortex, possibly threatening your ability to see when you wake up. However, there are arguments against this theory.
Wait a minute. Did you catch that? If you were to sleep for too long, you might not be able to see when you wake up. Now, obviously, this is not how it's going to actually happen. But let's say that you were to go to sleep for years, right? And so, you know, that part of the brain would be like, well, we have no visual information to process. So we've got this leftover brain matter. We better use it for something productive, because we don't just want this visual cortex to sit here empty-handed, not doing anything. We should use it for math or for thinking or for some other bodily function. So that way it's being made useful and not just sitting there dormant. Interesting. All right, she's going to make a point about naked mole rats here.
Example, mole rats are mostly blind,
Right.
and yet they still experience REM sleep, which is when the majority of your dreams take place.
This is
Either
true.
way, there does seem to be a correlation between intelligence and complicated brains. So it kind of makes you wonder, would aliens dream?
I would think absolutely yes, aliens would dream. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the video. It's short, but it's punchy. And so she kind of makes that point at the end with the naked mole rats to say, well, even if this were to be true, there's some argument with it because naked mole rats don't see very well, but they still have REM sleep dreams. So if they don't have a very big visual cortex and they're experiencing REM sleep still, and we have a big visual cortex and we experience REM sleep, one, higher intelligence might experience even greater REM sleep, like aliens might have even more profound dreams than we do. But then two, it kind of makes the theory sort of fall apart, right? Like if those visual cortexes are being commandeered and then used for something else, then why do naked mole rats still have REM sleep too? Because we can observe that REM sleep in these animals that don't have a very big visual cortex. And so I love that we are learning about neuroplasticity. This seems to be a gotcha kind of theory, right? You know, I'm scrolling through Instagram all the time and I see different things about like this new thing. Wow, this is crazy. You know, like the ones that you see, like drink red wine and it'll make you healthier. And then you look into it, it's like, oh no, that's not true. Like actually, it still is bad for you, but we twisted the data to make a punchy headline. I think it's the similar thing here. Yes, neuroplasticity is true. And yes, different parts of the brain can be used and compensate for maybe traumatic brain injuries, maybe loss of gray matter in different ways. But I don't think that dreams are coming from a lack of visual stimulation. Now, I say that a little tongue in cheek. Yes, they are sort of initiated by that lack of visual stimulation. Because we shut down our connection with the outside world, we're going to see visual dreams. However, I don't think that's the only reason. We know that emotional volatility has an effect on your dreams. If you're stressed, you have stress dreams. If you're anxious, you have anxious dreams. If you have trauma, and that's where my area of specialty is, if you have trauma, you're going to have post-traumatic stress nightmares. And so we see this very obvious connection with emotional health and dream health and the types of dreams that you're going to have from that emotional response. Yes, when you close your eyes, it gives you a blank page with which to have dreams. You know, if I gave you a picture, a piece of paper that already had writing all over it, you're not going to feel very creatively inspired. You may color, right, and fill in some color if there's no color on that picture that I hand you, but you're not going to be as creatively inspired as if I were to hand you a blank sheet of paper and say, draw what you're feeling right now. That is the experience and the process of dreaming. Eyes shut, ears close, quiet room, dark, cold, and so all of that sensory input is quieted down and silenced. And now we have this huge canvas, our entire being, upon which to project, explode, and express whatever's going on inside of us. And that's why dreams are the number one best window into understanding your mental health. If you're not using your dreams in your therapy, you are grossly misusing that therapeutic time. And that's something I stand behind. And that's why I use dreams constantly inside of my therapeutic practice. And I haven't seen as quick and as rapid and as profound of results as when we start to introduce that projective device of dreaming into the therapeutic setting. And so, sure, yes, there obviously is a correlation because when you close your eyes, it gives you the freedom to visualize instead of just looking at things. But I don't think that's why we dream. Do you agree or do you disagree? Leave it in the comments below. I'm very curious for your response, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, bye.